Let's shrink down government. Let's get the budget under control. And let's get the control back to a local level or an individual level. At the federal level, you do not have a lot of leeway. It is very, very clear with this relatively short document what you can and cannot do at the federal level. It's easy to make those decisions. If a bill comes across and it has to do with education, the answer is no, because the federal government was never supposed to have any hand in education whatsoever. State government, whole nother story. Okay, how do we handle it? Do we want public schools or do we want it? So there's a lot of decisions to be made here. It's a big job. But reading the federal Constitution, the United States Constitution is so brilliant because these powers, every kid comes home and he's memorized the preamble. Well, good for you, cutie. But that's not the Constitution. That is why we wrote the following Constitution, right? They're separate. So I used to teach citizenship in the nation for the Cub Scouts. And a lot of them had memorized that in school, the preamble. So they'd recite that, and that was great. And I told them, if any of you want to memorize Article 1, Section 8, and come to me and rattle that off, I will give you a dozen cupcakes. Like right off the bat, you got it. Because that is the meat of the Constitution. That is, here is what the federal government's allowed to do, period. And so it's beautiful. And you look at those and you're like, those make sense. These make sense. That those particular items would be countrywide, right? Nationwide. Post roads, just to throw one out. All right, if you need a legal document to get from California to New York, you don't want Nebraska saying, we don't really do mail here. Now that's not a problem today. And we have all kinds of couriers today. So, the argument could be made, do we still need federal mail system? But I think that at that time, certainly, and maybe still, that makes sense to have post roads be a federal thing to make sure that those legal and important things can get across.
It's impacting the whole nation.
It impacts everybody. You have to be able to. So just something like that. Weights and measures. You want a pound to be the same in Missouri as it is in Nevada, right? You don't want, a Nevada pound of beef or whatever.
Right.
So there's so many things in there that make sense.
Right.
And then everything else, it should be local or state or individual. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we forget that. Just because the state can do something doesn't mean they should. A lot of things should be city or local or personal. Just individual people can take care of things. Voluntary solutions to problems.